What's up, guys? Today we're going to go over, in my opinion, the top 10 characters to promote to 6 red star. I'm also going to announce the winner of a Power Core giveaway on the previous video, as well as announce a brand new Power Core giveaway on this video. So let's jump right into it. So real quick, I want to start off by explaining how I evaluated the characters appearing on this list, because I actually made 2 very different versions of this list. I'm only going to focus on one of them for this video, but I will list the others off at the end. So in the original version of this video, I was going to list off the characters that individually see the most improvement. A good example of this is Hulk. If you take Hulk to 6 red star, he sees a huge improvement from a 5 red star Hulk. He gains a ton of health because he has such a large health pool. He gains a lot of damage, which he further improves because he gives himself offense up, and he heals himself for percentage max health. So he's also increasing the amount he heals himself, so he sees an even bigger benefit to his survivability beyond just all the extra health. However, the reason that you won't see Hulk appearing on this list is because... One sec. Yeah, hello, People's Well. Yes, this is he. Oh, yeah, no, of course you can make a contribution to the cause. Yeah. No, I will fit you in right away. No, we can literally do it right now. Okay, perfect, thank you. Have a good one. So I want to tell you guys about Iron Maiden Legacy of the Beast. Legacy of the Beast is a dark fantasy RPG with over 400 collectible and customizable characters. You get to battle the Legions of Darkness as the otherworldly anti-hero and mascot of Iron Maiden, Eddie. One of the things I really like about this game is the class system. They have all these different classes, including warriors, sentinels, magus, gunners, assassins, and they'll either do enhanced or reduced damage depending on the class that they're attacking. They also have a really cool system for enhancing attacks. Some attacks you can charge up by rapidly tapping while you're powering up the ability. Other attacks you can land a perfect attack and do bonus damage if you tap at just the right time. So even though it's a turn-based game, that system makes it really exhilarating. And of course the soundtrack is awesome. It features the music of Iron Maiden, and the epic soundtrack was specially curated for this game. So what are you waiting for? The links are down below. Go ahead and click to download, and you'll get the first of 7 deadly gifts, including an epic champion, Pharaoh Eddie. Alright, so what I was saying was, the reason that Hulk is not going to appear on this list is because he doesn't have that many good meta team synergy options right now. By comparison, a character like Black Bolt only actually sees a moderate improvement when you give him the red stars. He's just going to gain a decent amount of health and a nice chunk of damage, but that's it. However, a character like Black Bolt is far more easy to incorporate onto various teams, including an arena team, a raid team, etc. So because he's more likely to be able to see more gameplay comfortably, I revised this list to focus on how likely you are to actually be able to use the character across multiple game modes, in addition to how much benefit the character actually sees to their stats and abilities and such. So now that you understand where I'm coming from, let's dive right into it. Coming in at number 10. Crystal. So Crystal's already a bit of an overlooked character by most players in my opinion, and it's because she's really new and not a lot of players actually have her at high star, so it's totally understandable. However, in my opinion, she's well worth the red star promotion on her own, and even more worth it with her team. So to start off, she's just a very capable blaster. She has good health, good damage, she has a turn 1 AoE that hits 4 times for piercing damage, and if she's with Yo-Yo, she also has another turn 2 follow-up AoE, otherwise it's a turn 3 AoE when she's by herself. That alone, in my opinion, is worth the promotion, because again, you're just giving a strong blaster more health and damage. Nothing wrong with doing that. However, in my opinion, the passive, which benefits her even as a solo character, is where the real value lies. What it does is whenever an Inhuman drops below 50% health, she will then heal them for 40% of her max health and remove 3 negative effects. So even on her own, not only are you giving her more health, but then when she drops below 50%, she's going to heal herself for an even larger amount. So you're getting survivability added on to more survivability, in addition to improving her damage, and on top of all that, she's going to rewind the fastest enemy's speed bar every time she takes a turn. So she's just a stellar solo character, and for that reason, she gets the number 10 spot. Coming in at number 9, Killmonger. Killmonger is another character I think is a little bit overlooked by the general player base. I think he's an excellent character to use as a plug-and-play character. In particular, all he really needs to just turn it up a notch is someone to reliably give him defense up, decently often every few turns, and if you can do that, Killmonger is going to be an absolute nightmare. He does a tremendous amount of damage, and he forces himself to crit by building up crit chance until he lands those crits, so you can set him up for some really, really powerful basics. But the reason that I have him on this list in particular is because of the exponential growth he sees when you add red stars, because of how he heals himself and for how much. So in addition to just doing fantastic damage, which again, a 6 red star blaster who's going to do a lot of damage is already really good, but he heals himself for a percentage of the damage that he's dealing. So by giving him more damage, you're also giving him more health. And when he has more health, that means he has more room to lose health and heal it back. And then because he's dealing more damage, he is healing for more health. So he becomes a lot more survivable than someone else who you would just add the health to. And because again, he does fantastic damage and he does a tremendous amount of healing, it just gets out of control. A high red star Killmonger is an absolute nightmare, and I absolutely think he's worthy of being on this list, in particular in the number 9 spot. Coming in at number 8, Ghost Rider. So Ghost Rider makes this list for a lot of the same reasons that Killmonger did. Mainly that he sees a lot of compounding benefit from improving his red stars. He's already just a top tier character and he has excellent health and excellent damage, but his abilities really take advantage of the red stars. His basic and his special do bleed damage, so in addition to dealing extra damage just from having higher base damage, they're also going to deal that extra bleed damage, which is going to ignore armor and various other things. And then his ult and his passive are a bit reliant on teammates dying, which is why he's not higher in this list. However, there are plenty of instances where teammates can die, and that's still okay. For example, in Raid, if you are running Minerva, Scientist Supreme, and you're actually able to revive people, or if it's on an arena defense where people are definitely going to be dying and you want to reroute the opponent's priority to make them attack Ghost Rider, but if you put him in a position where people are going to be dying, his ultimate is going to do 200% drain. So not only does he have more health that he can afford to lose, he's going to do a lot more damage with that ultimate, and then he's going to heal for even more because the ultimate did more damage. So it's just going to make him a lot more dangerous, a lot more survivable. And same thing with that passive. A high red star Ghost Rider is someone that you cannot ignore. If you are trying to kill other people and not kill a high red star enemy Ghost Rider, you are going to pay for it, plain and simple. Coming in at number 7, Scientist Supreme. Now, Scientist Supreme is a bit of an interesting one because in terms of the raw stat benefits, Scientist Supreme doesn't see anything too crazy. She doesn't have an absolutely insane amount of health or damage or armor or anything like that. However, in terms of her current spot in the meta and her general usability, she's such a top tier character that fits well on an arena team, on a raid team, on a blitz team. It doesn't much matter where you put her, she's going to be very effective. So I included her on here because she does get some good scaling and some good benefit. Namely, one of the main things that Scientist Supreme relies on is focus. And while she has alright focus, her passive is kind of built in a way that she needs other members of the AIM team around her to have an amount of focus that's a real threat to much stronger enemies. And by giving her high red star, she will no longer need that many AIM allies around her. She will have the focus that she needs to reliably land those debuffs, which is really good. And not only are those debuffs coming from her ultimate, they're also coming from each and every basic that she fires. In addition, she also gives herself regen, so you're giving her more health and you're making her regens heal her for more health, which is nice. And on top of all of that, the longer that Scientist Supreme can stay on the field, the more opportunities there are for someone else to be revived. So a lot of times the way that AI targeting work is while they'll go after supports and controllers more, they will also go after people who are lower on health. By giving Scientist Supreme more health, she's less likely to be one of the characters who's lower on health in terms of percentage or actual flat amount remaining, which means she's more likely to stay on the field while other characters are killed, and every turn that goes by, she has a chance to revive someone else, so keeping her on the field is paramount. So for me, that's why Scientist Supreme gets this spot on the list. Coming in at number 6, Black Bolt. So originally, Black Bolt didn't make my top 10 list when I was just looking at which characters receive the most raw improvement to themselves based on stats and abilities. However, in terms of plug and play characters that can be used pretty much anywhere, Black Bolt is absolutely one of the most versatile, strongest characters in the game right now. So I did want to make sure I included him on this list considering those factors. While he will gain an above average amount of health because he has an above average amount of health and he is giving himself an extra 50% max health for being an Inhuman, he's also going to gain a tremendous amount of damage because he already has an insane amount of damage. And then that just further compounds not only with all of his abilities, which do excellent damage, but at the end of the day, every person that Black Bolt kills is one more enemy that you know is not going to be revived, and there's value in that. So just for being a strong all-around character and really no other reason, that's why I have Black Bolt here on this list. Coming in at number 5, Symbiote Spider-Man. So the reason that I have Symbiote Spider-Man here on this list is because he does a great job of taking advantage of all of the stats that he would get if you promote him to 6 red star. First and foremost, he's going to make great use of the focus because just about everything that he does applies a debuff. However, he's going to get compounding benefit from the health as well. Not only does he have a very large health pool, he's going to give himself an extra 30% max health from his passive, and then in things like Raid and Dark Dimension, he's going to further heal himself based on a percentage of his max health whenever he's applying more debuffs, and with more focus, he's going to land more debuffs and healing for a higher percentage. Obviously is just more healing being done, in addition to the fact that his health bar can now support more health, so there's already all that compound benefit. And then in addition, just doing more damage is great. In particular, he's going to have no problem maintaining defense downs on many enemies, so the extra damage coming from him is definitely going to be worthwhile as well. But at the end of the day, he's such a strong solo character that you can kind of put on any team, and he's going to be really effective. I mean, he's got multi-turn slow, he has an unavoidable, unblockable, undodgeable stun, which is just fantastic. Yeah, he's just a stellar overall character, so for me, that's why he gets this spot on the list. Coming in at number 4, Hela. So Hela does it all. She's an absolutely incredible character, and she absolutely deserves to be this high on this list. She's going to make use of the health in addition to giving herself additional health. She's going to make use of the damage in addition to giving herself additional damage. She's going to heal for a percentage of her max health on turn, in addition to having her summon, who's further going to heal her, so that bigger health bar is going to give her more room to work. And then she has incredible damage. She already has rocket level damage, not to mention she's going to make use of all the focus, not only to spread debuffs that she herself creates, including Disrupted and Heal Block from her summon, but also any other debuffs that other characters on her team put on a target. She's an absolutely top tier character. She works amazing as a solo character on any team in any game mode, and she definitely benefits from multiple facets of a 6 red star promotion. So for me, this was an easy inclusion high up on the list. Coming in at number 3, Phoenix. Phoenix is an obvious inclusion to this list as well. She's going to benefit from pretty much all the stats twice, in addition to being normal Phoenix and having all of the advantages of having more health and more damage and percentage health in terms of healing her teammates because she gives out regens. But on top of all that, she's got Dark Phoenix, who's going to benefit from all of those things all over again by having essentially 2 full health bars that people have to cut through, as well as 2 full characters worth of damage that's being dealt. Yeah, she's just an absolutely top tier character, and the only reason she doesn't steal the number 1 or number 2 spot on this list for me is because there are a couple of game modes where she's not the absolute best pick, even in those game modes. And again, I'm mainly talking about Raid and Dark Dimension. She's still a very, very, very strong choice, and there's nothing wrong with using her. But for persistent health game modes, because she likes to commit seppuku and replace herself with Dark Phoenix, she's not quite my absolute top pick because she doesn't quite work in every single scenario, but she's a very, very strong character, and she deserves to place very high on this list for good reason. Coming in at number 2, Captain Marvel. So what I imagine is, to no one's surprise, Captain Marvel, of course, ranks very, very high on this list because, much like Hela, she does it all. Captain Marvel has an unavoidable, massive nuke. She heals herself for a ton of health on every turn thanks to her passive, which she'll have more health to heal herself, and she will be healing herself for a larger amount once you upgrade the red stars. Her damage is tremendous, and it gets further amplified when she enters binary. So she uses the focus, of course, for her special to remove buffs. I mean, there's just not an aspect of this character that doesn't benefit tremendously from the promotion, and she's just an absolutely stellar character. She fits on literally any team, any game mode, anytime, anywhere. Captain Marvel is ready to throw down. So for me, this was another really easy inclusion on this list. And finally, coming in at the number 1 spot, Mr. Sinister. It saddens me greatly that most players do not have a high gold star, let alone a high red star version of Mr. Sinister, so most players don't really have an appreciation for what this character can do, but with high red stars, he is absolutely incredible. First and foremost, he's going to benefit as a solo character. He has a very good health pool. If you give him more health, obviously that helps his survivability. Not to mention he heals for a percentage of his max health on turn, so he's also going to heal for quite a bit more. He heals other people with his special for a large chunk of his max health, so he's also going to greatly improve his own healing output with a higher red star promotion. And then his basic, of course, just does great damage and calls assists, so even if he couldn't make clones at all, he would get an above average amount of benefit from red stars. However, it's the clones that, for me, solidify this character as the #1 6 red star promotion. If you want to know more about exactly how the clones get their stats and how that all works, I have a video called the top 10 best Mr. Sinister clones where I go into it in great detail. But the short version is they essentially translate his gear tier, his star level, his red star, his ability levels, all that, and then they get their own separate reduction of 70% max health and 30% damage. However, depending on who the character is, they might be able to benefit from a passive from an existing character on the field. So for example, if you clone a Phoenix and you have a Phoenix on the field, your clone Phoenix will get a big percentage max health boost from the existing Phoenix because she gives it to other X-Men. Not to mention that that's based on the base value of the clone's max health. So if you are creating a high red star Phoenix clone, she's going to get a large benefit from that percent max health because it's based on her percent max health before the reduction. So the short version is you end up making really, really crazy clones, and because it's only a 30% damage reduction, there are many instances where my 6 red star Mr. Sinister is creating clones that do more damage than my actual regular versions of that character if I brought them in. So while on average they tend to have a little bit less health, it's usually not too much, and you can even make up for it by them doing more damage. There's just so many applications for this, but ultimately a high red star Mr. Sinister, in addition to just becoming a more formidable character on his own, is going to create clones that are easily worth another full character's weight. And so being able to turn matches into 6v5, or in Raid, just being able to have a full power 6th person on your team effectively is unbelievably powerful, and for me, easily worth the #1 spot on this list. So there you have it. Those are my picks for the top 10 best characters to promote to 6 red star. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I would let you know who was on the original list that didn't make it on the revised list. So the characters that did not make it over include Carnage and Venom and Hulk. Otherwise, thank you guys very much for checking out the video. I did want to announce the winner of the Power Core giveaway from the previous video, so congratulations to Cheryl M, comment featured here. Please message me on Discord, and congratulations on winning $10 worth of Power Cores. As for this video, go ahead and let me know in the comments below who you promoted to 6 red star, if anyone so far, and you'll be entered in for a chance to win $10 worth of Power Cores, and I'll announce the winner for that in the next video. Otherwise, thank you guys very much for taking the time to check this out, and I will see you guys real soon. Until then.